Hello. It's good to see you. Today has not started out too great for me, and it was my fault. Ultimately, I messed up. I went out to my car this morning bright and early at 7 o'clock and realized that my driver's side door had been opened and it was not shut all the way. I thought that's weird. And I'm not really registering. I'm not processing everything properly at this point. And I go ahead and open it up, and the contents of my center console were all in the driver's seat. And I thought, at first it looked foreign, and I thought, who put this stuff in my car? And then I realized what it was. And then I said a bad word because I realized someone had gotten into my car overnight and gone through everything in it. They went through the glove compartment, the center console, and they just kind of pulled everything out and went through it, and I guess just took what they wanted. And then so I got everything out of the driver's seat, and I just sat there for a minute saying, well, dang it, this sucks. And then I realized, see, normally I lock my car. I always lock my car. But see, the night before I had come home, I had to go pick up one of my kids, and I got back home probably around 6:30, and was planning on going right back out because I needed to go to Walmart to get a few things. And just in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to run in for a second, and then I'm going to come right back out because I need to go get some stuff. So I didn't lock the car. Well, I got in the house, and I got sidetracked. You know how that happens sometimes. You get in there and like, well, I gotta go, but let me do this first, let me do that, and oh, I need to do this. And so I'm doing all this stuff, and I ended up just deciding, you know what, forget it, I'll go to Walmart later, I'll just do it some other time, I'm just too busy tonight. Well, I forgot to lock my car, which I always do. I always lock my car when I leave it. Even during the day, when I come in, I lock it just out of habit. Well, I forgot that I had not locked the car last night. And of course, that would be the one night that someone decided to come see if my doors were unlocked. And they were, because I didn't lock them. And so I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and then I said, oh crap, because I had some stuff in the trunk. There was really nothing of value in the front, like in the console or the glove compartment. There really wasn't. I try not to leave things in the car, but I did have my gym bag in the trunk. And I said, oh God. So I jumped out and ran around, and of course it was gone. They took my gym bag. And that might not sound like a big deal, but my gym bag was like a self-contained unit. Like I usually keep 3 changes of clothes in there. My new iPod was in there. I haven't had it that long. Just like everything in there. My favorite gym shoes were in there. They were relatively new. I just keep everything in there, so when I get off work, I can just go, just grab that bag, and it has everything I need in it, and I just go on into the gym. So it had a lot of just little stuff in there. It was gone. My iPod's gone. My favorite gym shoes are gone. 3 changes of my gym clothes are gone. And I don't have that many, I don't have a wide variety of stuff that I really like to wear to the gym. So 3 of my favorite outfits are gone. I was really upset. But I was mainly mad at myself. It's like, Mary, you know better. You know better. Well, I didn't really have time to do anything about it. I had to go ahead and take my younger son to school. I thought, we'll deal with this. Just get him to school, and then we'll deal with it. So I called the police. I did file a report on everything that was missing and all the information that I had. Don't know who did it. Don't know what time it happened. And I called the local community watch people to let them know. I don't know of anyone else who's had it happen. So if you've ever had this happen to you, you have all kinds of feelings about it. You feel angry. You feel upset. You're all over the place. This is actually the 3rd time this has happened to me. And I can't technically say my car was broken into this time, but the other two, they were. One happened in a parking deck, and the other one happened right in my driveway back in 2009. And the one in the parking deck, I think, was around 2004. So, yeah, this is the third time I've had someone go into my car and take things. And they did damage to my car the other two times getting into it, just getting into the locked car. And I love Greensboro, I do, but honestly, having your car broken into is almost like a rite of passage here. I don't know many people here who have not had it happen. Honestly, it is like an epidemic around here. So it's the third time for me, and it was definitely not the charm. So, the way I am about it, it's like, okay, there's no sense sitting around complaining or getting upset. I mean, it's happened, it's over. What are you going to do about it? Well, I made a report. I called Community Watch. Not much else I can do about it. So I set about trying to figure out how to replace the things that were in my gym bag. That to me was one of the most important things right off the bat, because today was gym day. And I went, by the way. I did. I just got back. Because I'm not going to let this hold me down. I still went. I have already created a new gym bag. This is a bag I had in the attic. And I thought, okay, that's fine. Think of all the things that you already have that you can substitute for the things that were taken. So I had this bag up in the attic. I thought, well, just go grab that backpack and some clothes. Because of course I had more gym clothes, so I put clothes in here. And I just upgraded my second favorite pair of shoes. I told them, congratulations. You are now my favorite pair of shoes. Yay! See? So I've already got my second, now I guess my new favorite pair of shoes in here. And clothes. And I thought, okay, what else was in there? There was some chapstick, deodorant, a lock for the lockers, just a hair clip thing to hold my hair back. The iPod I was really upset about. I was really mad about that. I could fill up a swear jar over what I said over that iPod. But what I did do, I looked around at some iPods on Amazon, and they're expensive. They're like $200, and I only use it at the gym. So I went to eBay and I found one that has been used, but it's in like new condition, and it was only $86. So I bought that one already. So it's on its way. But in the meantime, I wanted something I could use. So I cobbled this together. Now I like an armband case. So this is one that I had lying around. I think I actually found this at Dollar Tree. And it's just like you could fit different types of phones in here. This is that MP3 player I bought on Amazon a while back. Unfortunately, I have not been able to put any songs on it, like download songs to it. I plugged it into my computer, and my computer just basically went, "What the hell is this?" Like, no, no, it wouldn't talk to this thing at all. It was being a total snob. It said, "No, that's garbage. I'm not going to let you do anything with it." But until my replacement iPod gets here, it does have an FM radio on it. I think it has AM as well, but it does have an FM radio. So, oh, and the other thing, they got my favorite earbuds. They were nothing fancy, but I had these Sony earbuds, and they don't make them anymore. And they fit over my ear, and they're so comfortable. I'm gonna have to try to find a pair somewhere. But in the meantime, I just have these. I went to Walmart. I did the Walmart run this morning that I should have done last night, and just got these little $5 earbuds until I can find some more like the ones I had. I don't really care. I don't need expensive stuff. I see people at the gym with these super expensive headphone ear thingies, and no, I don't care about that. These sound great. I've already listened to it. I listened to the radio on here with these, and it sounds good. So, and I like to wear it, just the armband thing. That's just my favorite setup. That's the one I prefer. So I have already got this ready to go, already used it. Works great. And I have replaced all the other items that were supposed to be in there. So it's like, hey, it's no skin off my nose. I'm already ready to go back to the gym anytime. So once I kind of had that set, once I knew I had everything, I hated having to buy another iPod. I hated losing my earbuds. I decided probably the best way to look at it is this. We all have bad things happen to us. We have things happen whether it's our fault or not, which if I had locked the car, this I doubt this would have happened. I mean, my car is set up. If you pull the handle more than once, the alarm goes off when it's locked. Learned that the hard way. And my kids learned as well. Don't keep pulling on it. It's going to set the alarm off. And if you try to open the trunk, it does the same thing. But I decided when you have something bad happen to you, the best thing that you can do is, number one, look for the bright side if there is one. And actually, there is a bright side here, although I had to really reach to find it. And what lesson can you learn from this experience? The other two times my car was broken into, I couldn't really find a lesson other than to just be mindful of what you keep in your car. And if you do have anything valuable, don't have it visible, which I don't. I mean, I didn't really have anything in my car that was worth taking. The funny thing, the second time my car was broken into, they had just thrown stuff out of the car, like papers, and just like they went through my glove compartment just pulling stuff out, and it all went on the ground. It was all over my driveway. The only things they took were a couple of CDs that I had burned myself. They weren't even like original. They were just little CDs that I had made with just random songs. They took a few of those, and they took my chapstick, which I thought was really gross. Like, why would you take somebody else's chapstick? That's nasty. I mean, you don't know. Oh, I know you're not going to use that, but I think they took it because there was just nothing else there worth taking, and they had gone to all the trouble of breaking into my car, and it's like, well, I got to take something. All she has in here are these CDs, which God knows what's on them, and this chapstick, and that's all I had in the car. That was it, basically. And I didn't have anything in the trunk at all other than like maybe some jumper cables, and they didn't take those. And actually, they didn't take my jumper cables this time either. So I always keep jumper cables in my car. It's a good idea to have them just in case somebody needs them. So I decided here to look at the lesson. The lesson I learned from this was always lock your car. Even if you do think you're coming right back out, lock it anyway. And I have done that, but this time I didn't because I really thought I was just going to run in for a minute and come right back out and go to the store. So I didn't worry about locking the car. And if I had locked the car, I would have avoided a lot of trouble this morning. Because what I have to do now, I've mentioned before, I have cameras all around my house, and I have one that records stuff that happens in front of my house. So I'm going to have to go back and watch video and see if I can find anything that might help the police identify who did it. So I'm going to be working on that this afternoon. Maybe there will be something on there that's useful. It does have, the night vision stuff. I mean, you can see even when it's dark, you can still see stuff in the video. So I'm going to watch that later and see if I can find anything useful. But I just have to remember, always lock your car. I mean, even if you live in a nice neighborhood, this can happen anywhere. The other two times, when it happened in the parking deck, it was in broad daylight. I mean, it was in the middle of the day, and I guess they just waited till nobody was around and did it. I don't know, but they busted my window out and ripped my radio out of my dash. And it's funny how these things always happen when you can least afford to deal with it. It's just like, really? Yeah, so always lock your car, even if you think you're coming right back out. And um, don't keep anything valuable in there. So to look at the bright side, I have decided, and I said all that to say this, I want to show you the stuff they didn't take because that is at least something that I can look at and say, well, they did get into my car, but here are the things they did not take, which is good. It's very good. The number one thing they did not take that makes me extremely happy are these. I know they just look like regular sunglasses, and they kind of are, but these are prescription sunglasses, and they fit me perfectly, and I can actually see when I wear them. And I have had these for several years, but I love these sunglasses. If they had taken these sunglasses, I would be absolutely furious because I don't think they even make this frame anymore. I don't even know what brand it is. I don't even know, but yeah, it would be a pain to get another pair because when I got them they were a little too tight, but I finally stretched them to the point that they fit me perfectly this way, you know. This is the thing I am most happy about. They did not take this. And you have to consider too that, theft can happen in much more violent ways. Like my current ex was robbed at gunpoint in his car. He was robbed at gunpoint and forced to get out. And I just cannot imagine how scary that was. And to give up his wallet, his money, his watch, everything he had, and then they ran off with his stuff. Fortunately, they were caught, and he did get his items back. But I just cannot imagine how scary that was, sitting at a stoplight and somebody runs up and sticks a gun in your face. I just cannot imagine. So fortunately, nothing like that has ever happened to me, and I hope it never does. So they did not take my sunglasses. They did not take my ibuprofen. This little bottle of Equate ibuprofen that I keep in the car, and I keep a little one because it fits in the glove compartment. There's actually a little compartment in there where it fits perfectly. It's like they made it for this little bottle, and I just refill it frequently whenever I need to with more ibuprofen because sometimes I do get migraines, and if I can take Advil when it first starts, I can usually kind of head it off at the pass. And another item, these are also prescription sunglasses, but I ordered these online, and they're not quite as good as the other pair. They're a little off. I'm not sure why. I mean, they're okay. Like, they're good for looking at distances, but if I try to look at things up close, sometimes it's a little blurry. It's a little weird, but they are prescription sunglasses, and they did not take those. I have a lot of sunglasses in my car. I don't know why. I just do. So they didn't get those. They did not take my umbrella, which is always nice to have. I got this umbrella at Aldi, and it comes with this little sleeve with a little handle. Nice little purple compact umbrella. It would fit in my purse if I needed it to. Folds up nice and small. They didn't take my umbrella. And they did not take my invisible glass wipes. These things are wonderful. I love the invisible glass cleaner. It's wonderful. It doesn't leave any streaks at all. It's better than any window cleaner I've ever tried. I use this on all my glass surfaces. And it's also tint safe. And I keep these in the car for my windshield. So I was really happy to see they left that. It's the little things. Here's part of what was in my seat. This was lying in my seat. Now these are actually 3 cords. This was the charger for my iPod. And I'm glad they left it because the one I just bought on eBay does not come with the charger. So I thought, well, that's all right because I have an iPod charger already. So that was good. And then I have a cord here. Let me see. This cord, I plays music. I used to use this in my old car. Like I could plug it in. There was a little jack there, and I could plug it into stuff and listen to it that way. I haven't used it in this car. I don't really know that I need it, but they didn't take it. And this is this is the Samsung Rapid charger for my phone, which I use. I use this one all the time, and it came with my phone, and very, very handy. I was glad at least I don't have to buy another one of these. Um, Here we have a little wipe for your glasses. I think it's from, what does it say? I don't know what it says. This came with a pair of sunglasses I bought, I think, and it was still in there. And another pair. These are spider wire sunglasses. I know they're looking in here going, what is this lady steal? All these sunglasses. Now this thing, I was very happy they left. This is a multi-tool from Winchester. This I have had for a very long time. My second husband's son bought me this for Christmas, probably back in about 2004 maybe. Now there's a tool in here. It's Velcro. It's very noisy. There's a tool in here, and this thing does everything. And I love having this in my car. Look, it has these cool wooden handles. I don't think it's real wood, but you can open it up. And there's a pair of pliers in here. It folds out to a pair of springy pliers. And then on the inside, I can fold it back. On the inside of that, you have all these little tools. There's a screwdriver in here. There's some little knives. There's a nail file. There's a serrated blade in here. There are all kinds of little tools in here, and I cannot tell you how many times I have used this since I got it for Christmas. And I do think it was 2004. And he picked this out for me, and this has been one of the greatest presents I ever got. And I've carried it in every car I've ever had. Fortunately, in the 3 times that my car has been broken into, I don't think I had it the first time. But the time before and the time that my car got, somebody went in my car this time, they did not take this. I don't think they saw it. Like, this one was buried under a bunch of CDs in my center console. I think if they had seen it, they might have taken it. But they didn't. So I was really happy to see that I had this. I went digging for this. I was frantic. I thought, oh God, not my multi-tool, not my multi-tool. But I still have it. I was very relieved. Now this kind of hurt my feelings that they didn't take any of these. They left all of my CDs. Now there's some good music here. Now I'm hurt. This CD is one I burned myself back in 2009. Yes, I still listen to CDs in my car all the time. This was Christmas music that I recorded almost, 9 years ago, a little over 9 years ago. They didn't take that. This is anybody's guess. I know it has music on it, but I don't remember what. It's just a variety of songs that I put on there. I have the best of John Denver. They didn't want that. Can you believe that? His version of Rocky Mountain High on here is just one of the most exhilarating things I've ever heard. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? All these songs are great. There's some really good songs on here by a wide variety of artists. They didn't want that. I even had John Denver and the Muppets in here. This is their Christmas album. They didn't even take that. These people have no taste. I had Boys to Men. This is End of the Road. This is a collection of their stuff. There are 18 songs on here. How can you not take that? I have the Friday soundtrack in here. Didn't take that. And Nirvana's Nevermind. I mean, these were all on my center console. And they had just kind of basically shoved them all to the side to look to see what else was in there. I guess they didn't find anything. So that was in the center console. Now this was in the glove compartment. Now they might not have even known what this was. They did dig through the glove compartment, but I don't think they took anything. This is an emergency charger. Now I don't want to turn it a lot because it's noisy. But you can plug up something to it, and you have to keep turning this to charge it. And it's kind of slow, but it's kind of like an emergency charger. Like if, I don't know, if you get lost or, you're stuck on the side of the road and your phone goes dead and you can't charge it with your car, you can always try this. They didn't take that. Oh, and this time they didn't take my lip stuff. They did not take my used lip stuff. Last time I think I just had regular chapstick, like just an open tube of, I don't know, some sort of chapstick. But they didn't take this, which I'm glad, because this is like $8 a tube. It's like $8. So, but I use these everywhere I go. It's my favorite. They also, now I know this looks gross, but this, it's not dirty. It's just, it's stained. It's like oil. These are just, cleaning cloths. I keep this in my car because I have one of the big metal doorknobs that you, like at a doctor's office or something, that you grip and open. And the sun shines on it and it gets so hot because there's a glass storm door in front of it. And the sun shines on it and it's so hot you can't even touch it to open it, to unlock it and open it. So I keep this in the car that I can put over it and I can open it. That is why this is in the... That's why it's in there. I guess that wouldn't have been too hard to replace, but I don't have to replace it. I also had a little container of Kleenex wet wipes. I don't think it's even been opened. I keep these in the glove compartment because, if you have kids, you just never know when you're going to need that. This was in my trunk. I have found that sometimes it comes in handy. I'm not like taking bodies out in the woods or anything, but sometimes it comes in handy to have some rope in your trunk. You never know when you might need to tie something down. Not something. I also keep rope in my truck because there have been several times when I've had to move things, like if you have something in your trunk and it's so big that your trunk won't shut, you can use a little bit of this to kind of tie the trunk lid down. Or if I have something in the back of my truck and I don't want it to fall over or whatever, you can kind of tie it down. So I have a little thing of rope like this in my car and in my truck. And they didn't take that either. And all the Aldi fans are going to love this. They didn't take any of my Aldi bags. Look at that. These are my Bolanos Cherry Grove Beach bags. I get some every time I go down to North Myrtle. I will go to Bolanos and I usually grab another couple bags. And I have here, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags. They didn't take a single one of my bags. So that was cool. Of course, it would have given me an excuse to go to the beach, but that's okay. Oh, and here's another thing I was relieved to see back there. My popcorn bucket. This is from AMC, the theaters. And this is good for the entire year. They do this, I think a lot of theaters do this, but you buy this bucket for $20. And you can get your refills for, I think, $3.50. So you get this big bucket of popcorn for $3.50, and you also get one free refill every time you pay the $3.50. So if you eat it all and you want to go get more during the movie, you can, and there's no extra charge. And this one bucket is good for all the AMC theaters nationwide. They don't care where you bought it. So this is my 2019 bucket. They actually started selling these back in November, so I got November and December, and I'll also get all of 2019. And we go see movies pretty frequently, so I've already saved money with that. So with one or both of my kids. Usually it's just one because there's enough of an age difference that they don't always want to go see the same things. So they didn't get my popcorn bucket, which is really good. I don't have to buy another one. And they didn't get my neck pillow. I keep this back there for long trips. I used to have two back there, but I don't know what happened to one of them. This is memory foam. And my kids love these things if we're going on a long trip, especially if they're in the back seat, because there's really nowhere to put your head. Like if you're trying to take a little nap, there's really nowhere for your head to go. So they use this to kind of prop their head up so they can take a little nap. So I have my neck pillow still. And now down here I have this great big thing. Oh, first, my fly swatter. Looks like a big hand. Like a big blue plastic hand. Hey. Now you would think I have this in there to reach back and swat my kids, and I may or may not have done that in the past, especially when they were smaller and they both had to sit in the back and they would pick on each other, and you can't stop and you can't reach them, so you just reach back there, and hit whoever you can come into contact with. I may or may not have done that at some point in the past. It's not really necessary anymore, but no, I keep this in the car, mainly for like, if you've ever had a yellow jacket or a hornet fly into your car at a stoplight, yeah, I keep this where I can reach it. I keep it down next to the passenger seats, and I have had to use it to smash bugs that get into my car, and to like reach in, like pull off the road, reach in there and kind of shoo them out. That's why it's still in there. I don't have to swat kids with it. Not that I ever did, or didn't. Maybe I did. I don't have to do that anymore. But I keep it in there. And now, this was in the trunk, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't take it because it was right there beside the gym bag. And it even has a handle, so you could just grab it and pick it up. This is a, I don't know what you call it. It's kind of a big carry case thing. It has Velcro on the bottom, so it will stay where you put it. It kind of clings to the upholstery in your trunk so it doesn't slide around. And you can put a little bit of everything in here. Like, it's mostly CDs, honestly. I think it's for emergency roadside stuff. It's actually for like emergency music for your car, for your road trips. Like, I have Bob Seger in here. They're missing out. They could have gotten Bob Seger. They could have gotten a box set of The Doors, 3 for 1. These are 3 original albums. You get LA Woman, Morrison Hotel, and The Doors. They missed it, man. They don't even know what an opportunity they had. And then I have stuff like this. These little CD cases. I know most of y'all probably don't listen to CDs anymore, but I do. I still do. I have a lot of most of these are CDs that I made myself. And they, for some reason, I just put dates on them, like 10/20/09, like I know what that means. I don't. Here's one from June 6, 2012. What's on it? Who knows? I have lots of them. I have a lot of music, and I would burn it on CDs so I could listen to it. We've got The Chronic here, and Walk the Line, the soundtrack from the movie. Yeah, it's mostly CDs. They're probably not sad they didn't get it. Oh, I know everybody's had one of these at least once. The little rear view, the shade thing that you take the elastic and you put it on there, and it has all your music in there. Yeah, I actually have 2 of these in here. I didn't put them on my thing. And just to be on the safe side, I do have a first aid kit in here. So I do have one little emergency thing in my little carry case. Little first aid kit. It has things for minor cuts and scrapes, an instant cold compress, and other stuff. There are 85 pieces in here. So I have to come away with it from this with, having learned a lesson. I think I need to remember to always lock my car because you never know when somebody's going to come try to see if there's anything they can take. And it can happen anywhere at any time. And I also need to be grateful for what they didn't take. I mean, yeah, I've had to replace everything in my gym bag. But, it could have been worse. I mean, it could have been under different circumstances like my ex. And I just wanted to share with you before I go one little saying here, a little quote from Will Bowen. Happy people are not people without problems. They're people who face their problems and at some point make a decision to move past them. And I know this is minor in the grand scheme of things, but I just found out this morning, and I've already moved on and replaced everything I possibly can. So I'm not going to let it get me down. I'm not going to stay mad about it. I'm going to just deal with it, and then I'm going to move on, just like everything else in my life that I've had to do that with. You take it all in, you process it, you feel the feelings that come with it, and then you try to learn from it. Try not to make the same mistake again later. I like to make all new mistakes every time. Don't make the same mistake 2 or 3 times. Make your one mistake, learn from it, and move on. So I'm going to do my best to do that. And remember the good things about it, the positives, even though they're not terribly positive, it's still something. So anyway, I just thought I would share that with you, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.